Hello friends, so in this video we are going to study about radix sort. So as you can see, the radix sort is a stable algorithm, right? And the time complexity of radix sort is order of n. That means a linear time complexity. As you can see, here is the order of d into n plus b. I will explain it later. So at this time, at this point of time, you can understand it. It is having a linear time complexity, and the space time complexity is also linear. Okay. Okay, let's see if I'm having the list. As you can see, this is our array. So first of all, in the radix sort, we have to find the maximum element. Like in this array, the maximum element is 264, and the maximum element considers the how many pass we have to take in the radix sort. As you can see, there are three digits in this maximum element, so we have to go through three passes, right? So in the first pass, as you can see, we will first of all what happens in a radix sort is we sort the array on the basis of each element each digit from one digit from each element, and we start from the unit place like this, first from 6, then from second 6, and then from 1, and we sort first from first pass we will use a unit element, then 10th place, and then 100th place, like this. So in all we are having three passes since we are having three elements, so there will be three passes there. So in this first pass, as you can see, we will take only unit place elements and sort all the elements based upon the unit place elements, and then we will having another array that is called count array. So it will basically count digit the occurrence of each digit in the unit place, right? So basically it's counting the frequency. As you will see, the 1 occurs one time yet, and 0 occurs one time yet, 3 occurs one time, 8 occurs one time, and then 0 occur twice. The first one, the first time it occurs in 116, the second time in 80, right? 4 occurs one time, 6 occurs one time, right? So in this way we will count, we will have the count array, and count array will always have elements from 0 to 9. Basically 10 elements it will have. It is basically based upon the base we are using. So here, the base we are using here is 10. Okay, so we will have 10 elements from 0 to 9. So after we count array, so we will have a cumulative count array. In the same array, what we will do, we will count the after sorting. As you can see, as we sort the array in the first pass, based upon the unit place digits of each element, then we will have half sorted array at that point of time. Then in this array we will count that for a particular element how many elements are occurring before that, right? So with this, with the help of cumulative frequency count, so we will have that, right? So how we will do this? As you can see, first element will remain the same, then we will add with the first element with the first element with the second element, like this one, right? So we get 3, then 3 plus 0 again 3, 3 plus 1 got 4, 4 plus 1 got 5, 5 plus 0 is 5, and 5 plus 1 6, and 6, and 7, and then again 7, right? So in this way we can count, cumulative count. So this is the this array is basically the gist of all of the radix sort algorithm. So we will understand this. Okay. In the Okay, so this is the output of the first pass. We will calculate the output array. As you can see, this is our previous array, first one, and the second one is the cumulative count we are having. So what we will do is, we will take the first unit place element, and based on that we will go to that particular index. So as you can see, the here is the unit place element is 6, so we'll go to the sixth index of count, and then we will go to the index percent 10. So here index is 166, percent 10 we will get 6, and then minus 1, and okay, percent, we will get 6, and then count of 6 is 6, and then minus 1 we got 5. So basically what we have to do is, as you can see, 6 minus 1 is 5. So that implies that we will decrease the count, because we have used the count once, so we will decrease the count by 1 and put the element 166 in the array, output array at index 5. So index is, we are getting here from 6 minus 1 equals to 5, right? This way. Okay, so the next element we get 4. So 4, we will get to the fourth index and decrease the count of fourth index by minus 1, and then we get 5 minus 1 4. Then we replace 5 with 4 and then put the 264 in the fourth index, like this one. Again we go to the 80. 80 is having a 0 at the unit place, so we go at the 0 index of count. We use 2, and then we are having 2 minus 1 decreases by 1, we get index 1, and then at index 1 we put 80, right? In this, and in the similar way, we are going to put each element here like this one. So we get the first pass. This is the half sorted array, and this is not, this array is not completely sorted yet, so we'll see later on how we will sort this one. This is the first pass. Okay, so in the second pass we will take 100 place element, all 100 place element. As you can see in the 3, in the third element 3, with it does not have any oh sorry, we will take this time we will take 10 place element. So this array, the 3 element 3 is not having any 10 place element, so what we will do, we'll take that as 0. So in the first element 2, 121, so we are having 10 place element as 2, so we'll increase the count by 1. Then sixth count by 1, 3 1, and 1 with 1, 8 with 1, 6 with 1. Okay, 2 6 occurs 2 times, so it will increase with 2, and then 6 occurs one more time, so it will get increased by 3. Okay, so cumulative count. This way we will be having our cumulative count, and let's see how we'll get the sorted array. So as in the previous one, we are having the same procedure. We will take 6 second 10th place element. Okay, and we will follow the same principle. 6 minus 1 5, replace 6 with 5, and then put 166 at fifth index. This way, second 264 6, we get at the sixth index of the count, and then 5 minus 1 4, replace 5 with 4, and then put 264 at this place. Again with same with the case 80. So 8, we get at the 8th index, then 7 minus 1 6, and then replace 7 with 6, and then put 80 at 6th index. And similar way, we will put all the elements in the same manner. Okay, let's see in the third pass what we are doing in the third pass. Similarly, we are taking this time the 100th place element, and on the basis of that we will sort the array. So as we have done earlier, so we will be doing the same way here too. We will calculate the cumulative array, right? After this one, the third pass output array, we will take the 100 place element. Similarly, we will get to one index. Okay, then decrease the element at the one index by 1, and then we get to that particular index that we got just now, and put the 166 element at that place, like this. Then 2, then decrease by 1 6, we get 6 index, we put 264 at 6th index. Then again 80 is the 100 place element is 0 this time, so we get the 0 index, and then decrease the element by 1, and then we get 2, we go to the 2 index, and then put 80 there. So in the similar fashion we will go to each element and put it in the output array, and we get the, finally in the third pass we get the our sorted array, right? So this way we will have our sorted array in three passes. So three passes are based upon basically the number of maximum the number of digits in the maximum element of the array, right? So as I've told you earlier, the radix sort has a linear time complexity, and it takes basically it takes more space as compared to the other sorting algorithms. Like if we talk about selection sort, insertion sort, and bubble sort, they are all based upon comparison. right? So comparison sorting, but they do not take more space. But here in the case of radix sort, it takes more space. So it is basically not considered in the place where there is a variety of range of integers. Okay, so now let's see how we will code this one. Okay, so first of all, let's say I am having the array, and we will put 121, and the second element is having 160. So we are taking the same elements as we are having the presentation. Okay, so 3, 3, 18, 80, and then 264, and okay, 264, then 166. Then we will define our function radix sort. We will pass our array there, and right now we are just leaving it empty. And then we will having our another function that is our counting sort. This will do all the counting as and it will take two elements, the array and the place. Okay, let me first show you one thing here, like what is this and what is this. So this, as you can see, this is the integer division, integer division, and this is modulus operation, right? So what it does, it when we like, let's say we take an example. If we are having elements like this one, uh, 10 by 3, so what you expect to do is, if we get as 3, not as 3 point something, as but this is like 3.3 something, answer of exact answer of this 10 by 3 is, but we get only the integer part of that one, so that is 3, right? So what happens if we do modulus? So we get the remainder. If we do the modulus operation, we get the remainder only. So when we divide 10 by 3, we get remainder as 1. So as you can see, the answer is 1. Okay, so this is the difference. So okay, so what we in the radix sort, what we do is, like we are having the element, let's say this one. Okay, so what I have to do here with the integer division, let's put in x, right? So with the integer division, I am having this like this, let's say 100. So with the integer division, I will cut the elements from this side, right? So this way I can cut the elements from this way. As you can see, output is 134. So I have cut, as I am divided it by 100, so I have cut the 8 element here. So two elements have been cut. The number of zeros in 100 are 2, so we have cut two elements from the right. Okay, so when we divide by x, and when we divide, let's say uh, we use modulus operation. So when we use modulus operation by 100, so basically what we are doing is, we are getting the last elements only, like 4 and 8. So you can see we get the result as 4 8. So based on this one, we will cut our elements, and we when we want to get the left side, we cut, and when we get to want to get the right side, we use modulus operation, right? So this is the basic thing we want to learn here now. Okay, let's come to our question. So counting sort we will be using, and let's call here. So radix sort we will be counting here, and we'll pass our array, and then we will print the array finally. Okay, so this is our main statements, three main statements. So now we will define our radix sort function. So we will, as I told you, first of all I have to find the maximum element in the list, so that will be max of array. Then we will define place. Place is basically is like unit place, 100 place or 10 place, whatever I want to get to, so I will put that in place, right? So place is the place we will be uh, getting inside the counting sort function as a argument. So first it will be unit place, so it will be 1. Second time, in the second pass it will be 10, and the third pass it will be 100. And if there are more number of elements, so it will be 1000 and 10 lakh. Like this one, it will increase with each time with one more zero, right? So place equals to 1, and now we will loop through it until max element integer division by place is greater than 0. And then what we will do is, first initially we will code the function counting sort. Actually it is this loop is basically ensuring the number of passes, and in counting sort we basically sort the array. Okay, so counting sort, uh, function calling, and we will pass our array and the place. First time pass, then we will increase into equal 10. Then we will do this one. Okay, so now let's define our counting sort. How we'll do this one? Okay, so first we will define the size of array. So length of array. Then I will have two other arrays, that is count. So count is equals to 0 into 10. So it will have 10 elements because the base is 10. So we are having 10 elements in the count. Because in each element it can have a 0 to 9 elements, 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So there are no other element it can have in the if you are talking about base 10. So count will have 10 elements, and the other array is output array. So output will have the elements equals to the array, so that is size. Okay, so first of all I have to define the count array. We will pass. Okay, so for I in range of size, so we will iterate through each element of the array and then put accordingly in the count array. So first we call index equal array I by place, integer division by place. Okay, so this way, then we'll put that particular element in the count array with the counting of it. Okay, so this will be index percent 10, and then plus equal 1. Okay, again for I in range of this, in this time we are calculating actually the cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency. Okay, so since we are calculating the cumulative frequency, we are operating on the same array, so that is having array of count. Okay, that is having 10 elements, so we will iterate only to 10 elements only. So this time we have not taken size, we have taken 10. Okay, then what we will do is count of, okay, so I have to start this from 1 because zeroth element at zeroth index won't change, it will remain same. So count I equal plus equal count I minus 1. Okay, so this is done. Now I will calculate the output array for I in range, and okay, so this won't be used. So first of all, let's say I have the size minus 1. So because the index starts here from 0, so we will having size minus 1 number of elements, index size minus 1 number of index in the array. Okay, so and we will start from the last element of the array. So you can start from the first element of the array, no problem. So we are here starting with the last element. So while I is greater than or equal to 0, then we will have our index equals to same as earlier, array of I and by place. Okay, so and then we will have a count. Okay, not count, output of count index percent 10 and then -1. So -1 I have done here because we have to not we have not to count the element on which we are currently on. We have to count the elements that are occurring before that particular element. So I'll calculate it at -1. So we have to not calculate that particular element. Okay, so count of I. Okay, sorry, array of I. We have to put array of I and then okay, so this is done. Then we will decrease our index count of index percent 10 minus equal 1. So that at that particular index I have to increase the count of that. Then finally I have to decrease I so that I can iterate. Now I have to put each element in the past array itself. Okay, for I in the range of size, and then our array is I equal output of I. Okay, so this way we'll do this one. Finally we have put all the elements that are in output in the array itself. So let's see. As you can see, the array is sorted 3, 18, 80, 121, 160, 166 and 264. The element, as you can see, the array is quite sorted. And if we want to see each pass elements, so we will just print our array here. So we'll see each pass. This is the first pass, this is the second pass, this is the third pass. In the third pass, the array is sorted already. Okay, so in the first pass, 16, as you can see, the just consider unit pairs elements. So like this one, 0, 0, 1, 3, 4, 6, and 8. So as you can see, they are all sorted. Okay, in the second pass, we will see 10th place elements. So here in the first, in this one is 0, 1, 2, 6, 6, 6, and 8. So all are sorted. In the third pass, we will see 100 place elements. It is 0 here, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, and 2. So all are sorted in their current pass and current element. Right. So in this way, we will sort the array. So in this way, we'll do our radix sort. That's all for this video. So thank you very much for watching this video. Okay. Let's see you in the another video.